Chaos breeds monsters. Monsters breed chaos.
This city is mine.
Brandon's Folly in theaters.
Picture this. A young woman boards a train in Chicago. She's just trying to get home. Minutes later, she's fighting for her life as flames engulf her body. Her attacker? A man with 49 arrests who should have been in prison. The judge who set him free said she couldn't keep him locked up because the prosecutor wanted her to. Those 9 words just turned Chicago into a war zone, and what happened next will make you question whether our justice system exists to protect the innocent or coddle the guilty. Now, Lawrence Reed is not just another criminal. He is a one-man crime wave with 49 arrests, 10 felonies, and a history of violence that should have kept him locked away forever. But Cook County Judge Teresa Molina-Gonzalez looked at his rap sheet and decided to roll the dice with public safety. Her exact words in court: "I can't keep everybody in jail because the state's attorney wants me to." So she didn't. Days later, Reed walked onto a CTA Blue Line train, doused a 26-year-old woman in gasoline, and lit her on fire while screaming, "Burn alive, bitch." This is not criminal justice reform. This is criminal justice surrender. Oh, and then Mayor Brandon Johnson, he decided to weigh in. He called it an isolated incident. But of course, this is the same Blue Line where somebody was stabbed just last week. Of course, isolated. The same system that treats violent predators like victims and actual victims like statistics. You see, when judges care more about criminal rights than public safety, when politicians call systematic violence isolated, when a woman can't ride public transit without facing death, we don't have a justice system anymore. We have anarchy with paperwork. And when Democrat policies turn cities into war zone, protecting yourself becomes essential. C60 Evo's holiday gift sets help maintain the energy and clarity you need to stay safe and alert. Their breakthrough C60 EVO, it supports mental sharpness, faster recovery, and fights the stress that comes from living in chaos. And right now, get 40% off when you buy the 6 gift bundles. Each includes their youth-enhancing facial serum plus the C60 Evo oil. I take it every day. It's perfect for family members dealing with urban stress. This offer is exclusive only to our audience at the link below, c60evo.com/NNN. Do not wait. Secure your family's health while Democrat cities burn. The link, c60evo.com/NNN. Now, of course, the rage is not just from conservatives. The judge has now been exposed. Judge Molina-Gonzalez, photos and records. Everyone's demanding accountability. Even Cat Turd said what millions are thinking: arrest the judge. Tommy Robinson, calling it what it is: weak judges need to be prosecuted. Another says, another judge, Ralph Megzik, is being named for freeing Reed on earlier charges. 2 judges, multiple chances, 1 predictable horror. Name, blame, and shame these judges, says another. But here's the sickest part. Reed was charged with terrorism for setting fires at the Thompson Center back in 2020. They knew that he was an arsonist. They knew that he was dangerous, yet they let him walk anyway. She tried to escape, and no one helped.
Says a female was set on fire at the location. Clark and Lake says a female was set on fire at the location.
A 26-year-old woman is in critical condition after she was set on fire while riding Chicago's L train.
3rd-degree burns around her body.
All right, 3rd-degree burns around the body.
The criminal complaint says Monday night, 50-year-old Lawrence Reed went to a gas station, bought gasoline, and put it in a plastic bottle. 20 minutes later, he was on the train and poured the gas on a random victim's head. She tried to get away, but he pursued her with a flaming empty bottle and ultimately lit the gas. And according to the U.S. attorney, no one helped her.
Even as she was on the ground trying to put herself out and is rolling on the ground, no one came to her aid until she was able to get off the train and to the platform.
When Reed was arrested, police say he blurted out "burn" expletive, "burn alive" expletive. Records show Reed has been arrested more than 4 dozen times since 1993. 9 times the charges were felonies, yet he has only served 2 years for a drug case, 30 days for driving on a suspended license.
Lawrence Reed had no business being on the streets, and as a result, you have an innocent victim in the hospital fighting for her life.
In August, he was charged with aggravated battery for knocking out a social worker at McNeil Hospital in Berwyn, Illinois. The petition for pretrial detention states that Reed is a real and present threat to the safety of any person or persons in the community. Still, Judge Teresa Molina-Gonzalez denied pretrial detention and ordered electronic monitoring with the condition that Reed could go free from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. The only restriction was that he could not go back to the hospital. Chicago's mayor insists the attack does not signal a wider trend.
As awful and as horrific as this tragedy is, this is as an isolated incident.
Because the attack happened on a train, federal prosecutors were able to charge Reed with an attack, a terrorist attack on a mass transportation system. He is now in federal custody. If that poor woman dies, the U.S. attorney says the death penalty is a possibility.
Clark and Lake.
4 hours ago. An update. Chicago is burning because Judge Teresa Molina-Gonzalez ignored several warnings and let a man with 50 arrests walk free. Prosecutors literally told her he was violent and would strike again, and she waved it off. Said, "I can't keep everybody in jail because the state's attorney wants me to." Days later, he boarded a train and burned her alive. This is what happens when soft-on-crime judges play politics instead of protecting people. This wasn't an accident. This wasn't an isolated incident. It was preventable, and an innocent woman is fighting for her life because a judge didn't care. "I can't keep everybody in jail because the state wants me to." The words uttered by Judge moments before she released the man now accused of setting a woman on fire aboard a Blue Line train. Mirroring the horrific murder of Irina Zaratruska, another young white lady is brutally attacked on public transport by a multiple black felon. This young woman set on fire by this demon on a train in Chicago, and weak judges need to be prosecuted too.
Keep Reed in custody. This is Lawrence Reed's most recent booking photo, the latest in a long string of lockups. We found 49 arrests, including 10 felony cases and an active aggravated battery case from August, in which Reed was accused of hitting a social worker at McNeil Psychiatric Hospital, causing loss of consciousness, 2 ER visits, and lasting memory issues, headaches, and daily nausea. The Cook County State's attorney asked a judge to keep Reed in custody until his trial for the August battery, but one judge put him on electronic monitoring before a different judge modified the monitoring hours. This is Lawrence Reed's most recent booking.
They adjusted the monitoring hours. Disgusting. Cat turd, arrest the judge. We're sick of this BS. He was arrested 49 times. Look at all those mugshots. This is what 49 prior arrests look like. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson, as you saw, now he's being slammed after he brushed off a 49-time arrested criminal. Isolated incident.
As this tragedy is, I can say is that as awful and as horrific as this tragedy is, this is as an isolated incident. As we continue to invest more in our public transportation system, we want people to feel safe as they ride. And so many working people rely on our public transportation system across the city, and that's why I'm doing my part to ensure that these investments are getting right to the people so that, of course, people can continue to enjoy. What I can say is that as awful and as horrific as this tragedy is, this is as an isolated incident.
An isolated incident? Okay, yeah, just brush it off. Oh, sure. 48 hours ago, career criminal charged with terrorism after dousing a woman in gasoline. Lawrence Reed is the same person who was charged with setting fire outside of Thompson Center back in 2020.
Gasoline on her. This young woman was on her phone, going through her phone, minding her business, when Mr. Reed approached her and began throwing gasoline on her. Perhaps people were afraid to get involved, but what we could say is, even as she was on the ground trying to put herself out and is rolling on the ground, desperately trying to put out the fire, no one came to her aid until she was able to get off the train and to the platform. And when she fired,
another violent CTA nightmare. Midwest millennial. This time, 26-year-old woman set on fire. This comes a week after a Blue Line rider was stabbed,
including her face. The 26-year-old woman's condition has not changed since last night. She is still in critical condition here at Stroger Hospital with burns on more than half of her body, including her face.
Just seen her lying on the ground, and she was kind of hyperventilating, in a lot of pain. She was really, you could tell she was really in bad shape.
Well, we know that this woman was saved by a number of Good Samaritans on the train with her. The police believe that the substance that was used as the accelerant was gasoline.
The Blue Line train was nearing the Clark and Lake station around 9:45 last night when the woman was set on fire. Chicago police say it started with an argument between the 26-year-old and a man appearing to be in his mid-40s. It's still unclear what that argument was about. Police say the man then poured some sort of liquid on her during the argument and ignited it. And you heard Alderman Riley say that police told him it may have been gasoline. When the train did stop, police say the woman got off and fell to the ground. The suspect took off running. CTA trains and stations have cameras all over them, but so far police have not released any images of the suspect they are looking for. But Alderman Riley says police do have some really good leads.
Of course, he's now in custody. Thank God. Entirely avoidable. This will qualify as another Governor Pritzker Safety Act success story. My friends, the security footage, horrifying. A crowded train. A woman minding her own business. Reed approaches with a container of gasoline in broad daylight. In front of witnesses, he douses her, lights the match. She tried to escape, and nobody could help her fast enough. This was not some kind of crime of passion. It was premeditated evil, and it was entirely preventable. Judge Molina-Gonzalez had the power to keep him locked up, and she chose not to. That choice has consequences, and those consequences are now burned into Chicago's conscience. You see, this is what happens when cities surrender to crime, when judges become activists, when politicians call preventable tragedies isolated. The young woman did not have to burn. Lawrence Reed should have been in prison after arrest number 10 or 20 or 30 or 40. But in Democrat-run Chicago, you get 49 chances to destroy lives. Judge Teresa Molina-Gonzalez has blood on her hands. Mayor Brandon Johnson has ashes on his. And somewhere tonight, a family could be planning a funeral because our justice system values criminal comfort over public safety. Here's a question for you. Should judges face criminal charges when their lenient sentences lead to murders? Yes or no? Let your voice be heard in the comments, and you can support real journalism by checking out our Next News merch shop. The link is below, and if you got value from this report, tap subscribe.